my family, and everything else that I'm connected to, and it makes sense. I'm not,
Okay.
yeah, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
No, it does. But my next question is about that makes sense piece. Because I feel like there are certain things that we can consider our purpose that sometimes don't make sense. So what do you mean by make sense?
I mean, it connects with me on a mental and spiritual and emotional level. Like
Mm.
I'm not doing anything that's outside of that, right? And if I'm in a space where I feel conflicted, right, it does that's not my purpose.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? Like if
Hmm.
I mean that in every capacity. Again, career, relationships, family. If I'm doing something that won't connect with me myself, and it feels like I won't sit right with myself, after whatever it is, then it doesn't make sense. So it's just to stay aligned with just my perception of what my character should be like.
So my next question is, because that's like deep, right? Like in every area of my life, if it doesn't make sense, I'm
Yeah.
not pursuing it. And I guess my question is like, how hard is that for you to be like because they're in relationship. So in relationship, we're friends. We've been
Hmm.
friends for 9+ years that we settled on. And
Hmm.
there may be times where I'd be like, Nick, can you please, ask you to do something that's not you're not comfortable with or it doesn't sit well with you. But because we're in relationship, you know, and you care about me as your friend,
But
do
that's the
you
bigger
do it?
purpose, though, right? I care about the
Okay.
relationship, so I may be doing something that's uncomfortable or out of my way at the moment, but we have a very meaningful relationship. So, and relationships is something that I care about a lot, right? So I'm fulfilling that space, right? The activity for the moment is just it is what it is, but it's beneficial to our relationship in the long term.
Mm,
So,
that
with
makes
that, I
sense.
may, I mean, me, Jazz. I'm probably gonna have an attitude with you, like, Jazz, why you gotta be like you running, doing this and that. But like, at the end of the day, it adds to the value of our relationship. So, I'm gonna have my attitude, but on the emotional and spiritual level, I mean, it's for Jazz. If I can bring a mountain to a house, I'll do it. So
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not really about inconvenience. It's about what makes sense in the space of the relationship.
yeah, it's not about inconvenience at all. I mean, I think you experience some inconvenience as you on a journey to discover what your purpose is.
Mm,
So that journey is not always pretty.
yeah.
At certain milestones, it isn't pretty, but the end goal, um, that's what it's for.
Okay.
You
Can
know,
you elaborate? You don't have to, but could you elaborate on some like inconveniences
inconvenience.
on the way to your journey? Like, I mean, on the way to your purpose.
So like let's use my career as an example. And just a backdate just a little bit. A topic that I have. I think I've had this conversation with you about can you experience burnout with something that you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my close friends, she said something that I thought was really dope. Because in my opinion, I think that you can't experience burnout if you're truly passionate about something, right? If you thought that if you do experience burnout, I think that you may have thought that you was passionate. I think that you may have loved it. You may have really liked it. You may have been really interested in it, and at for the moment or whatever time you was working towards that, but you wasn't passionate. Like to me, that word, that concept is really heavy. And I brought it to one of my other friends who I appreciate her perspective. Her name's Rachel, by the way. If you listen to this, shout out to you, Rachel. She said that you may not experience burnout, but you can be unattractive to your current role towards your passion, right? So let's use a person who's striving to be a medical doctor. From when I hear of our friends, medical school can be difficult, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that current role in the field of medicine is stressful, is difficult, is a stressful journey. They may not appreciate, well, not appreciate, they may not enjoy that particular time in medical school, but they're still passionate about medicine. For me, and working in mental health, and I did enjoy it to great extent. But you know my jobs over the last 2 years, last
Yeah.
2 years. I was really out in the field, home to home, school to school, and that was psychologically and physically taxing. But I never really experienced burnout in working in mental health, but just driving from the West Bank to the East, to Gentilly, to uptown, to downtown, to showing up at people's homes and they're not at home, and calling people and they're not answering the phone, working with kids who are not as compliant as I would like them. I would like them to be, dealing with difficult parents, trying to navigate the school system. Like, that was really stressful. Then my hours were super long and difficult. I would have to get home. I would make it home around 8 o'clock and still have to do the notes. So that role in mental health wasn't attractive to me, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoy my current position now. But I never really experienced burnout for as
I get what you're
health.
saying.
So to relate it back to what you're asking me, that can feel like inconvenience, right? For the time, but the overall purpose was for me, career wise, anyways, was for me to be a mental health professional. And provide mental health services. But I just found my role at the time to be unattractive and inconvenienced.
That makes sense.
If I'm making sense.
No, that does make sense. So like your